interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Bam. Hey, what's up and welcome back to Pondering Pilots, the show where I decide if a new show on TV is worth the watch based on the pilot and the pilot alone. And today, I'll be taking a look at the newest iteration of the Dexter TV show entitled Dexter New Blood.
Angela.
Hey, Mr. Lindsay, Becca, Scott. Go Hawks!
This is my life.
I am the passenger.
A wolf among sheep.
Now, some people consider this to be an entirely new show, while others just consider it to be the next season of a show that we've already had a few years back. I consider it to be mostly a mixture of both, and that's because this season has a subtitle and, if we're honest, a different vibe overall, as most of the cast members in the original are no longer with us, and it doesn't take place in Miami anymore, which came to be a bit of a character in and of itself in that original show. So already we know that this will be a little bit different. But how was that first episode? It was fair. I liked it quite a bit, but I also want to make sure that I'm seriously concerned about it based off of the first episode. Now, I was always a pretty big fan of the original show. More so than I feel like most people were, because while a lot of people dipped out after season 4 and absolutely hated the series finale, I never did. Could it have been better? Well, sure, but I've now seen it a few times and I think it's fine, and I couldn't be happier that it's back. Michael C. Hall owns it in this role, and even though I've seen him play a variety of different roles since the show ended, you can't see him and not see and hear Dexter. It's impossible. So to see him back again is the best part of this episode. Now, the first episode had me a little bit worried because something like 90% of the episode did not feel like Dexter. I realized that part of that is the point, because Dexter isn't Dexter in this episode. He's hiding out as Jim Lindsay. A shout out to the original author of the books, Jeff Lindsay. And as such, we don't hear the iconic Dexter music. We don't hear any narration from Dexter. We just see a normal guy living out a normal life in a normal small town of Iron Lake, New York. And Dexter is often seen battling some kind of inner demon here and there because he doesn't feel like himself. So anytime that you see him battling those inner demons in the episode, I feel like he's feeling what we're feeling, that something isn't right, which is a good start. He also sees Deb, who died in the last season, as essentially the new ghost. In the original show, we always saw Harry's spirit guiding Dexter to do the right thing, and it appears that his sister is the new spirit guide, which does make a lot of sense. He's trying to stay under the radar, which means don't kill anybody. The code of Harry allowed him to kill. The code of Deborah does not. So he has not killed anybody in almost 10 years. But as we know it, it wouldn't be a Dexter TV show if there was no murder at all. So when a group of questionable people show up trying to get a really powerful gun for hunting, that dark passenger starts to come out of the shadows, and that drive to kill is definitely coming back, which also means the voice of his sister is dimming out a little bit. And he's acting like a crackhead a little bit, jonesing for another hit. He's imagining killing this guy, but holding back. By the end of the episode, as we figured he would, he tarps up that room and he kills that guy, and Dexter Morgan is back, baby. Suddenly, narration is back. A hint of that old music is back during the credits as well. In general, it feels like Dexter. So even though 90% of the show doesn't feel normal, the end does, which gives me hope for the rest of the season. I also forgot to mention that his son is in the show as well, looking for him. Harrison. He showed up looking for Dexter, and at first Dexter's like, no, I'm not your dad, but by the end of the episode, he does come clean, and he admits it, and he says, come home. We don't know yet what that'll mean for the future, especially with the relationship that he has with one of the police officers in town. We also don't know how they'll handle the murder, since that town seems to be one that barely has any crime whatsoever. I'm expecting tension to rise significantly once the FBI or other government agencies begin to realize that murder is happening in this small town in a similar fashion to the Bay Harbor Butcher. It's about to get tense, I can feel it. So even though, again, 90% of the episode felt nothing like Dexter, I have high hopes for where it'll end up. So right now, I'll just say the pilot took off. not necessarily took flight yet, but I'm like 85% sure it will by the second episode. Only time will tell though. What did you guys think about Dexter, New Blood, episode 1? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell for the next time that I do a Pondering Pilots episode. And until then, guys, peace out!
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the number